Hey everyone, Expert here, or you can call me Zach. Anyways, this is my first episode of Marvel Movie Theory. I'm just kind of, not ranting, but more or less talking about conspiracies, general ideas that I have about Marvel, or theories that could possibly happen. And for this first episode, I want to talk about the Red Skull, the villain from Captain America, the First Avenger. Now, I was recently rewatching Captain America, and I noticed that he doesn't die. I don't know if all of you caught that, but it's really interesting that I thought he did the first time, but upon rewatching it, it totally appears he doesn't. This is after watching the Avengers, of course. So real quickly, I'm going to play that one scene from Captain America. Alright, so if you watch that scene carefully, you can see that as he picks up the Cosmic Cube, or as we come to know it as the Tesseract, he doesn't die. I mean, it looks quite painful what happens to him, but the effects that are given to him are that of the same when Thor uses the Tesseract with Loki and the Avengers to go back to Asgard. Now, he's not dead. Then where is the Red Skull? It's been talked a lot, and Kevin Feige, he said that he doesn't know when they're going to have the Red Skull reappear, but it's open, and he never said that the Red Skull was dead. So that tells us that we will see an appearance of the Red Skull in the future. Now, when that's going to happen? Definitely not Infinity Wars. I mean, if it is Infinity War, because think of it like this. You have a two-part movie, the entire thing is not going to be battling Thanos. So, are there going to be any other villains in that movie? I mean, as cool as that could be, it might not be plausible. I mean, that's going to be a lot to have happen. I mean, you could set it up with Civil War, but that's a real long shot there. Anyways, going back to where Red Skull is, we can assume he's in one of the 9 realms, and we can assume it's one of the out of the 9 is one of the 8, because we know he was on Earth, which is the realm of Midgard, realm of humans. So we can assume that he's also not in Asgard. Now, in the comic series, there was a point in time where Red Skull, I think, managed to get to Asgard. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure about that. But, if that is true, we know it's not true in the MCU, because Thor has not mentioned Red Skull. And Asgard doesn't seem that big of a place for someone with a giant red face to just disappear. Anyways, with that said, I'm going to quickly read off a list of all the other realms Red Skull could be in. So there's, and I'm most likely going to butcher these names, there is Muspelheim, home of the fire demons. There's Alfheim, home of the light elves. There is Vanaheim, home of the Vanir, who are the sister race of the Asgardians. Interesting. We know of Asgard and Midgard. There's Jotunheim, home of the Frost Giants. Niflheim, home of the Frost Trolls. Svartalfheim, that's home of the Dark Elves, which is ruled by Malekith, as we learned in the most recent Thor movie. And Helheim, realm of the dead. Now, we got a good glimpse in Thor: The Dark World of multiple realms. We saw the Fire Demon realm, the Frost Giant realm, and 2 others. But honestly, it's all speculation. We don't know where the Red Skull went. For all we know, he is somewhere in between space and time, floating around, void of everything, waiting to be pulled out. It could be very interesting if Marvel went the route to say that he was in the realm of the dead, which was Helheim. Because you can then bring the element of death and resurrection back into the film, or into the films, and that can lead to some very interesting topics to explore, as you can bring up the possibility of heroes being killed and brought back. In the comic runs, there have been multiple iterations of the Red Skull and his appearances. In one iteration, the Red Skull was cloned by Dr. Zola. Another iteration, Red Skull's daughter took up the helm. Another iteration, a Soviet agent, I don't remember of what agency, took up the helm and used it to gain power. So the Red Skull has been all over the place, and most of the time it hasn't actually been the Red Skull, which is quite interesting. And to see what Marvel's going to do with the Red Skull, because they left his tail open-ended. They didn't kill him off. They threw him out into space. Now, as you know, Guardians of the Galaxy is our first real, Thor was a pretty big cosmic movie, but Guardians of the Galaxy really opened it up to exploration. And this could lead to more to looking farther out, as we have Captain Marvel, which is going to be the last. It's going to come out between Avengers: Infinity War Part 1 and Part 2. So it's going to be interesting. For all we know, Red Skull will appear as a servant of Thanos, as Loki has. But it is quite interesting. And I just want to make it clear that the Red Skull is not dead. He is, in fact, alive. But the MCU is just, or the MCU fan base is just kind of left questioning, where did he go? And when will he return? A lot of people thought he would return in Captain America 2, The Winter Soldier. He didn't. So he's most likely not going to appear in Civil War. Don't expect that. But that's all I got. In the comment section below, if you can suggest who you'd want me to look at, explore, theorize about. I've been watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. lately, and that's taking a good turn. A lot of speculation going on there. If you all want to have me speculate about that. This is more or less just a test run, first episode kind of thing, just to see if there's any interest in these types of videos. I'd love to make them, and I will only keep making them if I can find support out there. So yeah, comment section below. Let me know if you enjoyed this. Another way to tell me is by leaving a like and or subscribing, as I hope to make these in the future. If the series does continue, I will most likely do this on a weekly basis, either on Saturdays and or Sundays. With that said, thank you all for watching, and Expert out.